forces which hold people back from doing justice and then make them do the unjust and the oppressive. The first one is taking the side of your own self or that of your friends and relatives. A person who stands for justice will stand for none but Allah, and one who stands for none but Allah will do nothing but justice. But when it comes to protecting personal interests or favoring friends and relatives, one may be tempted to justify the thought that the act of caring for relationship here is also for Allah. Therefore, by using the word lillah, which means is for Allah, the chances of sentimental attachments overpowering human nature have been taken away. Addressing the believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا. O you who believe, stand up firmly for Allah as just witnesses, and let not the enmity and hatred of others make you avoid justice. So the essential message is that when it comes to doing justice, let nothing affect you, neither your own self, nor your parents or your relatives. If the demand of justice happen to be against them, stay with nothing but justice. Hostility against an enemy should not affect your sense of justice to the limit that you start working against the demands of justice to harm your enemy to your enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to be just with everyone, whether a friend or an enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends this ayah by saying, اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون, which means be just, that is nearer to taqwa, and have fear of Allah. Verily, Allah is well acquainted with what you do. He will reward or punish according to your actions, whether good or evil.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haaziq bin Subhi. I will explain to you about what is justice. So, basically, justice is the component that includes freedom, love, and also equality among us. So, as a human being, we are taught by our parents, our family, and by our teachers, and basically about the freedom is we love each other. We know in our life we are living in community, we live in citizens, and also and obviously clearly we want to live in a environment that are very good, full of love, full of happiness, and cheerful in our life. So in case of the justice, we need to spread love to others. Okay, spread love to others basically seems we doing good to family, to human, to our friends, and also to the animals. That is justice. Secondly is about the freedom. As we know, in this life human needs freedom, okay, to maintain the balance of the peaceful and harmony in community. We need a freedom of talk, freedom of choice, and etc. Okay, like example, today Malaysian are going out for the elections, and basically in these terms of justice, we as human, as a human, have a freedom to choose any candidates that we think they are the goods for our life, for our community, for our country, obviously. So that is my opinion about the justice aspects, and many of surah in Quran that have been said by Allah about the justice. And also for your information, the word justice is not only in terms of justice itself. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhannad Munir, and today I will be talking about justice. So, the average person may think that justice means fairness. However, from an Islamic perspective, it means placing things in their rightful place. It is a moral virtue which creates a sense of equilibrium the distribution of the rights and duties. But this does not mean being identical. Sometimes justice can be achieved through unequal distribution, and this will be discussed later.
There are several authorities in Islam that enshrines the concept of justice. In Surah An-Nahl verse 90, it says Allah orders justice and good conduct. In Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 8 says, O you who believed, stand firmly for Allah. Prevent injustice and do not let the hatred of people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness. Lastly, in Surah An-Nisa verse 135, it says Allah orders us to be just. Allah tells us to be just even if it's against ourselves, our parents, or our relatives, whether they are rich or poor.
It can be seen from the last authority that we should be just irrespective of our religion, race, color, and social standing. This is seen in the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, where the king of Shams came to Mecca to perform tawaf. And while the king was performing tawaf, someone stepped on his long cloth. Now the king slapped the person, and the person slapped the king back. The king was in shock. He went to Umar radiallahu anhu and complained. And Umar said, you got what you deserve. This shows that we should be just, irrespective of our social standing.
If we're not just, rights will be oppressed, like the previous example of the king of Sham. If he could do whatever he wanted, if he could slap whoever he wanted, the rights of these people would be oppressed and violated. Therefore, we should be just at all times.
I would like to highlight an example of being just. I mentioned earlier that sometimes justice can be achieved through unequal distribution. This is seen in the example of a brother and a sister receiving pocket money from their father to go to school. Now, in this example, the brother receives 8 ringgit, whereas the sister receives 4 ringgit. At first instance, it may seem that it is not just, because one person is receiving more than the other. However, it is just, because justice means placing things in their rightful place. It would be unfair for the brother and sister to receive the same amount, because the brother requires more money because he requires more food to be full, whereas the sister requires less money because she requires less food to be full. Therefore, it is just that the brother receives 8 ringgit and the sister receives 4 ringgit.
Justice can be seen in many other contexts. For example, judge being just in court, and justice in the form of transaction and business. And also justice in the case of polygamy, where a husband has to be just to all of his wives. In conclusion, justice is one of the most essential characteristics in Islam and should be embedded in all the hearts of the Muslims. Like one of the Muslim jurists said, justice is one of the most noble acts of devotion that is next to the belief.